Reading FC in England are in serious trouble. This is not a new development, but this latest development could well be the most damning of them all, as they may well be suspended from the English Football League. Let's have a look at what that means and why this is the case. For those that have been following Reading and their general descent through the divisions in England will know this is not a new story. Like I said, their ownership has been a real cavalcade of catastrophe, really, for lack of a better term. It's been awful for them. I really feel for the Royal supporters. I mean, people my age will know of Reading as a team that every now and again was in the Premier League. They were on the verge of Europe in the the late 2000s, I think it was. I'm sure they finished about 7th or 8th or something like that, which these days might well have got you a Europa League spot or a Conference League spot or something. So it's really sad to see what's happened to them, and they literally have, as I record this, a few days to remedy this situation. But let's have a look at why, guys. Shout out to BBC Sport for covering this. I'll just go through this article and give my kind of thoughts on the future of the club, because like I said, this is a club with a lot of history and a club that has been in the Premier League, and also on the pitch, a club that I believe at the time of recording is in the playoff spots in League One in the 3rd Division. So yeah, interesting times. It's weird. On the pitch it's going well, but off the pitch, yeah, pretty bad. Reading FC have said they remain in close dialogue with the English Football League and have the full intention of avoiding any potential suspension. The club have been given a deadline of the 5th of April for owner Dai Yong to sell his interest in Reading, something they say he is committed to doing. Last week, the EFL announced that Young had been officially disqualified under the EFL's owners and directors test. That is the fit and proper person test. So basically, to be an owner of a football club in England, I believe this is the case for the Premier League, the EFL, and I would imagine the National League and below as well. I'm not sure what the cut-off line is for that, but definitely for the 92 clubs in the top 4 divisions of England, all the professional clubs. You have to be a fit and proper person. You have to pass this test, and that test obviously comes under a lot of scrutiny itself, because it does allow owners such as Dai Yong to actually get in the first place, but he has since been reassessed and now he is disqualified from owning a football club. This is also the same test that does allow the likes of what's his face now, Chansari at Sheffield Wednesday to be in. I mean, if you've seen what's happened with them recently, they have had apparently an incident where they are unable to pay their players for March. That's another video for another day, I think, to be honest. Let's focus on Reading. The club would like to clarify the current position with the EFL and Mr. Dai's disqualification as a director, Reading said in a statement. Under the terms of the disqualification, Mr. Dai must now divest his interest in Reading Football Club and is committed to doing so to meet this requirement. Following earlier discussion with the EFL, the time has been allowed for the divestment to take place has been extended to Saturday the 5th of April. While the EFL board ultimately has the power within its regulation to suspend the club amongst its options if Mr. Dai's interests are not divested by this date, we remain in close dialogue with the league with the full intention of avoiding this eventuality. The statement published by the club also detailed the fact that they remain a period of exclusivity with a proper purchaser. They reiterated that there is a strong hope a resolution can be found imminently to their ownership worries. The club also provided an update on the ongoing litigation case with former Wycombe Wanderers owner Rob Cohig, who tried to buy the club last summer. On Friday, Young and Cohig were at the Commercial Court in London, where the current Royals owner was trying to get an injunction against Cohig, who he claimed was blocking his attempt to sell. Interesting. The club can confirm that a formal proposal for alternative security has been made to Mr. Cohig via his legal representatives, Reading added in their statement. It is hoped that the proposal will be agreed quickly in resolution of the current security impasse to facilitate the sales process. Right, so, and I'm not an expert, I'm not a Reading fan. I've followed this story pretty loosely over the last couple of years. Reading have been in a lot of financial trouble for a long time. You know, Dai Yong is Chinese, and a lot of Chinese owners came into football in England, in a very short space of time. But then, when was it, 2021, I think it was around pandemic sort of times, the president of China, Xi Jinping, basically said, no, we don't want to invest in foreign football now, so get out. And the majority of these owners did actually leave, but Dai Yong is one of the ones that's kind of remaining, weirdly. And I think there's him and there's the West Brom one. I think Wolves are still partly Chinese owned. Those West Midlands clubs, 2 of them for some reason still have Chinese owners, but Anyway, Dai Young apparently has invested a lot of money in the club, but just in the wrong places, and it's just been a disaster after disaster with it. They've failed to meet HMRC payments, so they've had points deductions in the past for that. They've been on the verge of going down to the 4th tier of English Football, League 2, but they've been in League 1 now for a couple of seasons. They've on the pitch, they're doing quite well. Like I said, it'd be a real shame if they got suspended, if their season got curtailed, and I can't think of a time when this has ever happened in the top 4 divisions of English football. Going way back off the top of my head, and I remember this because my dad told me, this is way before my time, but Bradford Park Avenue, I think they didn't finish a season in the 70s and they were curtailed. I don't know if they were in the top 4 tiers when that happened. They might have been, they might not have been, I'm not sure. But in modern times, in recent times, I can't think of another time when this has happened, when a club has been, clubs going financial troubles, points deductions. My team, Sheffield United, we've had a points deduction this season, and rightfully so, and before anybody says it. And this can happen. Clubs can go into administration and stuff like that. It can happen. It's not unheard of. But to be suspended, which to my knowledge, if they are suspended, and unless I am very much mistaken when it comes to that, then they will literally not be able to finish their season unless this is remedied. Now, whether the EFL will suspend Reading is another matter. Going off of that statement from Reading Football Club, that is one of their options. They can do it if they want to and they think it's appropriate. It doesn't say they will do it. So whether they will or not is another matter. But honestly, he's been given an ultimatum. This has been going on for years now. The club has been up for sale, not for that long, but there's been a lot of talk about getting rid of the guy. There's been protests. I remember they protested against Port Vale. Did they go onto the pitch? Did they throw tennis balls onto the pitch? I can't remember. There's that many protests in English football, and rightfully so. There's some shocking owners out there. It's a really sad situation. I feel for the Reading fans. I hope you guys can get this remedied, and I hope as well you can finish the season. I hope you get a buyer. If that Cohig guy is a good owner, I hope he's the one you need. I hope he's someone who's going to come in and make a difference. But there's a big legal battle between that, and these legal things don't move quickly. That is probably not going to be resolved in the next 4 days. And as I record this on April Fool's Days, unfortunately, this is no joke to the fans of Reading Football Club, who, historically go far enough back. They've been down there before, but they've not been down there for a very long time. Early 90s, last time in the 4th tier. Been a long time since they were in the 3rd tier before that as well. I think that was the 90s as well. So, yeah, it's a real sad state of affairs. If you're a Royals fan, if you're a Reading fan, I want to hear what you think in the comments below. Do this Kuhig guy, I'm probably pronouncing his name incredibly wrong. The former Wycombe Wanderers owner, would he be a good one for you guys? I suppose anybody's better than Dai Young at this point, but you also want to make sure it's a good owner as well. You don't want to swap someone for someone else who's just as bad, if not worse. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, I hope you can finish this season. I hope, because what will happen then, in my opinion, if they were suspended, I think what would happen then is that all their remaining games, all the games they'd be suspended for, of course, they could be suspended and then unsuspended. The games could get rearranged if there's enough time. But to my knowledge, they would automatically be given as 3-0 victories for the opposing side. So Reading would lose out on a lot of points, potentially 2 rivals up there in the playoffs as well. So this could ruin their playoff hopes. And it's sad that it comes to that. But, they've been given an ultimatum. And if the owner doesn't sell by that date, in theory, they can be suspended. Reading fans, your thoughts in the comments below. I want you to hear what you have to say. This was meant to be a 5-minute video. It's ended up being 10 because there's that much to cover with it. But I really feel for you. I hate hearing that any club has owners like this. But unfortunately, there's a lot of really bad ones in England. And that fit and proper to persons test, it's not fit or proper for that job, really, is it? Your thoughts in the comments below. Have a great day, guys. And yeah, if you're a Reading fan, best of luck to you. Hope you get a new owners very soon. And hope you're not suspended. I really hope not.